My name is Daniel, and I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. I was born and brought in Nairobi since I was a young man, and I'm born among 7 siblings, and I'm the firstborn. Yeah, and my dad, my mom. So we are all 7, 8. We are all 9 in our family. So the first thing is that I was brought up in a Christian way. My mom used to go to church. Where I used to go to school, it was a missionary school. It was a school that was sponsored by the church. So I knew the gospel since I was a young baby. But with time, I was forced to backslide because my mom used to force me to go to church. I felt like going to church I must decide by myself. But my mom used to say that the way you the way you bring up a child is the way the child will be when he or she grows up. So it was a journey, and sometimes I used to go to church and my mom used to give me like the offering. And I was like, today I'm not going to church. I'll go to a video show and sit there the whole day, then come back and tell my mom, wow, today church was awesome. So that is how Satan started entering these middists and started confusing my mind. I was in class 8. I was 13 years old the time that I decided to take the offering, not to church, but to a video show. So when I went to high school at 14, uh, at school, there were two types of church, the Catholic one and this normal AIC. The AIC will take time before break time. Then there was this Catholic one, which was a very short time. So I would imagine me going to the AIC, which will take almost forever before it ends. That's why I started backsliding. And I had a very bad company, in fact. So I started going to the CU, the Catholic, which will take 30 minutes, less than even 30 minutes to end the service. Then we will go for break time. So that was the thing that I wanted. I wanted to go for break time earlier because the AIC will take time. So the moment this world is cooked and Satan is there to corrupt our minds. So the moment he saw me and he saw this guy, and yeah, he was brought up in a church, and the way he's trying to avoid this type and this type of church, I can enter and confuse our mind. So with time, I stopped even going to the CU, and I used to hide myself. When people go to church, I hide myself in the dorm. Then no church. I do my things. So that is how I was even introduced to. I was 14 years old. I was at Form 1. I was introduced to things like uh, Mogoka, cat, because Sundays there are normally no teachers at school. So I was the one who was told, let's go for a walk, let's sneak out of school, let's go for this, so that the evening will not be boring. The main aim was to make the evening awesome, because many Sundays and many Saturdays we had entertainment at the evening. So that is how I started being introduced to these stuffs like weed, marijuana, because it was only 10 shillings.